It's a theory. It's a Chris. It's a theory. Chris's crazy theory.
All right then. Let's try and make sense of this absolute pile of doo-doo.
So it's interesting. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. So it's interesting that you bring up the chest, because it was different than all the other pots of gold that we've seen. And to catch our audience up, in case they're catching us midstream here, let's go back to the beginning of the movie, where we have this awesome book that they should sell, because that was the best part of the movie.
Do you think they put all the effort into like the first 5 minutes and then got burnt out creatively?
Yeah, this was 90% of the budget in this book.
Yeah, they burnt the entire budget and the creative endeavor for this movie in the first 5 minutes, and then just fell flat.
They did, but there was a lot of interesting information in here, so we'll just go through it real quick. So they said, there was his armies would lay siege to the king, and the king possessed ancient treasures. And I was loving all of this stuff, and I love the look of everything. It was great. But the king was in league with creatures of magic.
I love the way they show the island, Great Britain, and not Ireland. Like Ireland's sort of shoved yet that's the whole focus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go back.
That makes sense that they would pick the wrong island.
Like they couldn't even get the right island. Those bastards.
I didn't even notice that. That is awesome.
I was waiting for them to zoom into the Isle of Man or something, and be that stupid that it was all took place in the Isle of Man or the Jersey Islands.
That's great.
That's our Isle of Man. See that wee bit in the middle?
Yeah.
That's the Isle of Man.
Oh, right there?
Yeah. See that wee bit? Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Huh. Wow. Now this is even dumber than I realized. That's great. But yeah, so the king possessed ancient treasures, and the king was in league with creatures of magic, forest spirits that were called leprechauns. This is great. We're learning a lot of information.
Yeah, even though the leprechauns are actually elves, but sure.
Well, again, once they pick the wrong island, I guess they
I suppose they can't even get the right island. You know what I mean?
They've lost a bit of credibility. But these guardians were summoned from the earth to protect.
Were these Scottish leprechauns?
I don't know.
Leprechauns?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine at this point. From falling into the hands of evil men. So they're here to protect, the leprechauns are here to protect the gold. All right. Except for the myth of the one that you referenced, the one leprechaun, except, the one that did not go back. Okay, great. We got it. He's evil. We understand that the leprechaun we're talking about is the one from this movie. But on this next slide, I noticed something very interesting that the casual viewer clearly missed. So here's a depiction of the king. The king's reign would come to an end is the caption. And yes, we have a leprechaun who seems to be maybe sleeping. Maybe he's sad about the king's death. No, I say no, good sir. I say there's more afoot in this image than the casual viewer would observe. Notice if we zoom in here, there's an image of a second leprechaun here with his hand raised as if in anger or in an attack pose, and he's shrouded in darkness. So he's committing some evil act. I think
he's writing the script for this movie.
I think he's committing the second evil act besides writing the script. I think he's actually attacking and killing this leprechaun. They give another, clue here. These vines resemble veins as the blood pours out. Who knows? Maybe he even killed the king, but that's a theory for another time. But he clearly killed this leprechaun. This is a leprechaun committing murder. Leprechaun on leprechaun crime. Now, I know what you're. I know. I can see it's the worst kind of crime there is, besides being the scriptwriter, as you mentioned. So let's proceed. I have more proof because this is a very, very. I'm accusing someone of murder. This is not going to hold up in any court unless I have more proof.
Have you seen the justice system today?
All right, maybe it would hold up.
Trial by social media. Whoever gets the most likes and clicks.
That's off. That is fair. But I do have more proof anyway. So we'll just go through the exercise of giving the proof. So look, it's no coincidence that a movie that featured this hidden leprechaun on leprechaun crime would be set in the hood. It's famously, the hood is known famously for, unfortunately, black on black crime. It's very prevalent. It's very sad. The statistics don't lie. I'm also going to skip forward so you don't look at the statistics, but they don't lie. So there is a reason that they set this movie here to hide the fact that there was some leprechaun on leprechaun crime. A leprechaun killed another leprechaun. I have more evidence. So this priest that we talked about, he says you're going back to hell tonight and back to the grave from whence you came. And we have this part where the leprechaun is getting dragged under the dirt by hands, supposedly from hell. Now, we've seen 5 other Leprechaun movies at this point. We've seen the leprechaun get killed, get thrown into a well. He's died a few times, exploded. We've never seen hell, hands from hell drag him down. So this leprechaun did something worse than any of the other leprechauns did to be deserving of this sort of eternal damnation. And I propose it's the fact that he killed another leprechaun. Let's proceed.
He's randomly killing every human he encounters. That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
But leprechaun on leprechaun crime is the worst kind of crime. That's the worst. That and script writing. So another example of why this leprechaun was punished is the fact that he has no powers. Every other leprechaun in the other movies have some sort of powers. They could transport themselves. They could create illusions. They could appear in a guy's penis. That one, probably not the best of powers.
Well, but not for the other person anyway. As we saw.
No, definitely not for the other person. But this leprechaun is none of those.
Happy enough. He was enjoying himself.
That's true.
We could then slide.
But this leprechaun has no powers, as clearly evidenced by this scene. He gets run over by a motorcycle, and he's just got to walk after him because he's got no abilities. He's been punished. He's been damned, and his powers have been removed.
It didn't run out of budget.
And they ran out of budget. But
they spent it all in the first 5 minutes.
So you sound like a skeptic, and I know just the case for a skeptic.
Just be with this movie, because
I have just a solution for a skeptic: more hard-cutting journalistic evidence. So we have the chest that she finds, and when she falls through the floor, right? And we talked about how in the other movies there was a pot of gold, not a chest. She opens the chest, and they could see the gold in this image. Take a look at the number of coins. All right, this is different than the other movies, and I'll show you. She says there's 200 coins, and then she even repeats it. That's 50 coins for each of us, being that there was 4 of them. 200 coins. Did that strike you as odd, considering that we've seen 5 other Leprechaun movies?
Well, yeah, because the pot only holds 100 coins.
Exactly. 100 coins. The first movie, Leprechaun, he's counting 100 coins. He even gets to number 99 and he says, I'm missing one. He's angry because there's only supposed to be 100 coins, 100, not a coin more. Leprechaun 2, 100 coins. Leprechaun 3, very gross, but 100 coins in that guy's belly. 100 coins is the point. So how did he get 200 coins? The only way is that because he killed another leprechaun and took his 100 coins. You still have to pay the devil, my friend, and he did, and he's eternally damned because this leprechaun killed another and stole his pot of 100 coins.
There you go, folks. That makes more sense in this bloody script.